Power tools. Some of the gardener's tasks are made much easier with the use of power tools, especially those that process organic matter. Here are some important facts about the most useful types. Chippers and shredders. Chippers have one or more knives to slice woody material into small pieces. Shredders pulverize with hammers or other mechanisms. They work best for softer material. Many models carry out both functions. To shred leaves without frustration by a machine designed specifically for that purpose. Large models, 8 to 10 horsepower with chipping tubes 4 inches or wider, usually take branches that are up to 3 inches in diameter, while smaller ones take only 1 1/4 inch branches. Replace and sharpen blades often. Chip woody material while still green and prune off side branches before chipping. Place machine on a tarp for easy collection of chips. String trimmers. A trimmer has a small motor on one end that drives a spinning, sturdy nylon line. The cord spins so rapidly that it easily shears off plants. Use it to mow very long grass or weeds and to trim lawns around stones. Avoid trimming right next to trunks as you might injure the plants. It is also excellent for chopping taller green manures before turning under. Gas models cut heavier weeds than most electric ones. A few models automatically dispense line as it wears off, but most require bouncing the machine's head on the ground to release replacement line. Lawn mowers. Mowers are no longer simply lawn cutting tools. Newer models are composting machines that chop grass finely so that it decomposes in place, returning nutrients to the lawns. Bagging models are still useful for collecting grass clippings for the compost heap. Any mower can chop leaves for compost or mulch. Just run over small raked piles. Master gardening tips. Using power equipment safely. The same engines that save so much labor can also inflict much damage. All users of power equipment need to be familiar with simple safety precautions. They're just common sense, but they suddenly make a lot more sense when you know people who've hurt themselves or who work in the emergency room. Dress appropriately. Long sleeve shirt and long pants help protect your arms and legs. Make sure they're comfortable but reasonably tight fitting so there's nothing to get caught in moving blades. Scent sneakers or running shoes offer little resistance. Wear sturdy shoes or boots with socks. Work gloves are important when using chippers and shredders. Remember that it can take years for subtle hearing loss from power tools to show up, so be sensible and wear ear protectors. As a reward, you'll find mowing the lawn and similar tasks to be much less stressful. Protect your eyes from flying debris with goggles. Eye protection is absolutely essential with chippers and shredders. Always turn off the motor. Unplug electric tools. Before attempting to unclog or fix an engine, before buying a new piece of equipment, make sure it has some sort of safety mechanism that shuts it down when you let go. It can prevent a tiller or lawnmower from running you over if you slip. String trimmers should stop spinning as soon as you release the trigger. Keep children, spectators, and pets safe distance away. Lawnmowers, chippers, and shredders can throw stones a distance of several yards. Remove branches and similar obstacles from the work area before you turn on equipment. Allow engines to cool a few minutes before refueling the gas. Gas spilled onto a hot engine could ignite. Use a funnel whenever pouring gas or oil to minimize spills on your skin, your tools, and the ground. It only takes a few teaspoons of gas or oil to contaminate water supplies or soil. Dispose of old gasoline and used oil properly. Take oil to the garage for recycling. Label all oil and gas cans clearly and keep out of reach of children. Labeling containers of oil-gas mixtures will prevent the expensive mistake of using them instead of straight gasoline. Plug electric tools only into outlets with a ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI. These specialized outlets shut off the power anytime there's a short circuit, greatly reducing your risk of serious shock. Check power cords before and after each use and replace damaged cords before using. Sidebar. Before you buy. These machines can be powered by gasoline or electricity. Electric models are quieter and lighter and require less maintenance. A few electric trimmers and mowers have rechargeable batteries, eliminating the need for cords. Rototillers and cultivators. Rototillers and their smaller cousins save effort in all the tasks that involve digging and mixing soil. If you're cultivating over half an acre, a large machine is worthwhile, but most gardens don't need the large, expensive models. The heavier the equipment, the greater the risk of compacting soil. Once your garden is established, you'll probably find the lighter, smaller, less expensive model is more fun to use and better suits your needs. Sidebar: before you buy, consider renting or borrowing a large machine if you're starting a new garden. If you remove sod first and compost it, a good idea in any case, you can use a smaller model even for a new garden. Cultivators. Small, lightweight machine, usually 1 to 2 horsepower. Tines are directly below the engine on most models. There's no wheels. The user pushes or drives the rotating tines through the soil. Most are gas-powered. A few electric models are available, though. Tilling widths average 6 to 10 inches. Optional attachments include edgers, lawn aerators, and lawn dethatchers. Cultivators are the least expensive. They're good for weeding and loosening soil for 4 to 6 inches deep and mixing fine amendments to that depth. An effective depth is usually less than manufacturers claim, though. Cultivators are easy to maneuver around existing plants. Front and mid-tine tillers. Larger than cultivators, but relatively small and lightweight, and with gasoline engines up to 4 or 5 horsepower. The tines are directly below or slightly in front of the engine. The user pushes or drives the rotating tines through the soil. Cultivating width is usually 12 to 18 inches. Optional attachments may include 1 or 2 detachable wheels, edgers, lawn aerators, lawn dethatchers, and a hilling furrowing device. Price does vary with size. It's good for weeding and loosening up soil up to 8 inches deep and turning under organic matter and green manures. Can handle coarser material than cultivators. Sidebar: hints for success. Attention perfectionists. More is not better when it comes to rototilling. You can actually destroy the crumbly structure that you've worked so hard to create by overusing these machines. Compaction of subsurface soil from overtilling is so common that it's got a name of its own: plow pan or tillage pan. Use the fewest passes possible when weeding, digging, or incorporating. Switch to a garden rake for the finishing touches of leveling beds and creating a fine seed bed. To reduce the risk of compaction, never till wet soil. Wait until the soil is moist. When a handful squeezed in your hand crumbles. Rear tine tillers. Larger, heavier, gas-powered machines. 5 horsepower is common, but 8 and 12 horsepower models are available. The wheels are powered and drive the machine in a straight line, making these easier to use than front and mid-tine tillers if the garden is large. Cultivating width averages 18 inches, but adding tines can increase this to 25 or 30 inches. They are usually expensive. Good for weeding only in very large gardens where the rows are widely spaced. Hard to turn in small beds. Excellent for turning under amendments, organic matter, and green manures, and the larger engines can break sod and hard or rocky ground. Tractor-mounted tillers. Heavy machines that are either powered by the tractor or self-powered. Tilling widths are 20 to 48 inches, even wider on a few models. These are also very expensive. They perform all the same functions that the other tillers do. They only make sense for large gardens and people who already have lawn or garden tractors. The extra weight does increase the risk of compacting soil.